Good morning everybody. Welcome back to the Lee Valley Canal. Seems to be markedly more people down here on here this morning, despite it being a weekday. Quite a few cyclists, but it still looks beautiful. So today's the first ride out on my brand new Tannus tyre on the rear wheel. Hopefully you've already seen that vlog of me fitting it. I had a day off of vlogging yesterday. I fitted the Tannus tyre, filmed that, but then thought to myself, no, I'm too tired, let's have a day off the editing. So we'll get that one edited later and then edit this one soon after. So hopefully you'll get to see them in quick succession. We will see. She's sitting tight on the nest now. More road works, or should I say trail works. Morning, you alright? So they say that first impressions count, and I'll now give my very first impressions of that Tannus tyre on the rear. I've done about all of 5 or 6 miles, half of it on hard top tarmac and the other half on this loose gravelly stuff. I haven't been properly off-road yet, but yeah, so my first impressions. Comfort feels remarkably similar to the marathons that I took off. I had those pumped up to the maximum tyre pressure on them, which I think, if memory serves me correctly, was 90 psi. These Tannus are supposed to be the equivalent of 80 psi, and to be honest, yeah, I can't tell a lot of difference. They seem to be riding the same. That's for comfort. Rolling resistance, there is a definite drag on the back. I can really feel the difference on the rolling resistance. I'm looking at, I would estimate, probably 10 to 20% extra rolling resistance on the rear. I am certainly noticing the difference on my legs this morning. I've deliberately kept the e-assist switched off the whole time, just so that I could tell exactly what's going on. and 20% extra rolling resistance is not negligible. It's certainly taking its toll. That said, it'll just give me that much more exercise, won't it? It'll just make my legs that much stronger in a couple of 3 weeks' time, so it's not insurmountable. Now, the other thing that I have noticed with it is this sensation of slipping and sliding left and right. Even on the tiniest little slope, it will slide off like it's on marbles. It'll roll straight down off the slope. Speed up a little bit, this man's waiting for me. Now, let's see if this car can get past. Easy. So yeah, this sensation of riding on marbles is a bit weird. I'm sure it's something I'll get used to. But the real test will come with somewhere like Epping Forest. It's the similar sort of gravel to what I'm on now, but obviously then you have the hills, the ups and downs. We'll see whether this Tannus tyre has still got the same level of grip. That beautiful blossom on that tree. Looks great in the sun, doesn't it? So that's enough about the Tannus tyre for today anyhow. Obviously I'm going to keep you updated on how I get on with it over the weeks and months to come, particularly when I first take it off-road, and also when we get the trike loaded up with a full load on the back. We'll see how that feels as well. But I'm most interested to find out how the grip levels suffer because of having that tyre on the back there. We'll see. So what else was I going to talk to you about today then? Well, the topic for today is going to be Sustrans. Now, Sustrans is the organisation that manages and looks after the National Cycle Network. You know, those numbers that I'm constantly talking about, like NCN1 that I ride around on all the time at the moment. National Cycle Network Route number 1. Well, they're all looked after by a group called Sustrans, and Sustrans is a charity in the UK. It was set up, or the beginnings of it were back in the 1970s, where they opened a cycle route between Bristol and Bath, and a small group of people there worked hard, and when they finally managed to get that cycle route between Bristol and Bath open, they suddenly realised that they were onto something, and that perhaps every town would like to be linked with a nice cycle path and footpath. And by the 1990s they apparently researched and applied for a grant from our National Lottery Heritage Fund, and they got given a grant of £42 million, and with that Sustrans was very much then on the map, and they've continued to build a cycle network. Even though it's called a cycle network, as I say, it's shared use, it's there for everyone. They're particularly keen on making these paths and routes open for disabled people. That's why I moan so much when I see these ridiculous gates that we come across occasionally, because they're not supposed to be there. So with that money from the National Lottery, the cycle network has now grown today to be over 16,500 miles of cycle paths and multi-use trails all across the UK. And as I say, Sustrans are the group that monitors and manages them and helps with their upkeep. Now, having said that, Sustrans doesn't actually own the cycle network. In fact, I remember reading on their website that they actually own less than 1.5% of the network. And the network is actually owned by different landowners, local councils, local authorities and various groups, but Sustrans helps them and assists them in maintaining the cycle network if that network is on their land, and they do a very good job of it too. And of course much of Sustrans' work as a charity is voluntary. They're continually organising voluntary groups to go out and litter pick. Somebody was asking me in the comments, do we have groups going along picking up the litter along the cycle network? Yes, we do, all over the place. But it's not just on the cycle network. In the Lee Valley Authority also organises groups. So yeah, the Lee Valley Authority organises groups to litter pick throughout the Lee Valley Park as well. Another question was asked, do I also volunteer to help out with these groups? I haven't done. I wish that I had the time, to be honest. Perhaps I should make more time for it. But in lieu of me volunteering to help out with these groups, I do donate to the Canals and Rivers Trust and to Sustrans. I figure it's the least I can do. I use their trails so much. But yeah, one day I would like to help out and volunteer and come out with one of their groups. I don't suppose there's much of that going on at the moment with the social distancing happening, but maybe one day. But yeah, I shall leave a couple of links to the Sustrans website and one or two of their videos in the description below, so you can check them out some more if you like. They can obviously tell you a lot more about themselves through their own website and through their own videos than I ever could. But yeah, they get my full support. Fantastic group, doing a really good job. Right, so I reckon that's about it for today. I'm going to carry on riding for a while. Hopefully I'll get you some pretty shots too, and we'll finish off the vlog with some nice views, hopefully. And I'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe then, guys, and remember, keep washing those hands. See you soon. Ta-da.